Hello friends, welcome to SKR classes, and in our new video we'll be talking about the chapter Life Processes Biology, and in that the topic is human digestive system. So as you can see, I have drawn out the human digestive system. If you don't like the diagram, I am sorry, I apologize for that, and I know that you can draw better because my drawing is very worse, but still I have tried to explain everything which is a basic given in the NCERT book, and now we'll run through what are the parts and how the food goes inside and gets digested. So let's begin with the mouth. You take in the food from the tongue mouth, it goes on the tongue, and if when you chew, you take the help of the teeth. You chew when you chew. So the upper jaw, in which the upper layer of your teeth is known as maxilla, and the lower jaw is known as mandible. So upper and lower jaws names I have said. So you first take in the food through your mouth, and it goes inside the buccal cavity. When you give it inside the buccal cavity, the secretions which are there in the buccal cavity, the saliva and all, they start their work and convert the food into a bolus. बोलस हिंदी में अगर हम कहें तो उसे कौर कह सकते हैं हम. They convert the food into a bolus, and then the food is easily passed into the oesophagus. Now the oesophagus and trachea have a similar opening. So to stop the food going inside the trachea, here the tracheal pipe has an blockage or a blocking organ known as epiglottis, which I have not shown in this because this is the digestive system. I will show in the respiratory system what is epiglottis, but just to tell you that an epiglottis is present here, so that it can stop the food to go inside the trachea. Now the food going inside oesophagus, there are wave-like motions known as peristalsis, by which the food goes inside, and this peristalsis aids the movement of food to go inside into the stomach. Now the food has reached to the stomach. Now the stomach has three parts: the upper part, the middle part, and the lower part. So the upper part is known as fundus. The upper part is known as fundus. The middle part of stomach is known as body. This part is known as fundus. This part is known as body, and the third part is known as the pylorus. This part is known as the pylorus. This tube that goes into the small intestine, this is known as the duodenum. I have not mentioned as I didn't have space, but you can write this tube which goes into the inside this. This is known as duodenum. This tube is known as duodenum. Now the duodenum takes the food from the pylorus to the small intestine. Inside the stomach, as you can see, there are the juices and hydrochloric acid that they are secreted to digest the food. So the food is partially digested inside the stomach, and then it is converted into an acidic form of it. So the acidic form of food then goes down the duodenum, and then the food from the duodenum, it passes into the small intestine. Now in the duodenum, as the food is acidic, so the liver and pancreas give out juices that are mixed in the duodenum. So and there the food is turned into alkaline, so that it does not go acidic into the small intestine. So then in the duodenum, the liver and pancreas secreted juices are mixed, the bile and all. The duodenum is then followed by the jejunum. these are the parts of the small intestine. The duodenum, these parts consist of duodenum, the upper part. The middle part of the small intestine is known as the jejunum. In jejunum also the food is digested, and whatever bit is left, the last is digested into the ileum, the last part of the small intestine, which is known as the ileum. From there, from the ileum, the food goes into the large intestine. So the large intestine also has three parts. They are known as colons. This part, from here to here, this is known as ascending colon. This is the middle colon, and this is the descending colon. Large intestine has three parts: the ascending colon, the middle colon, and the descending colon, which is then followed by the anus, and the food goes out. So there are finger-like projections. I failed to say that. There are finger-like projections in the appendix and the colon, which are a safe house for bacteria. They are known as appendix. This is a safe house for bacteria, appendix. This safe house is for the bacteria who help in the digestion of food. Everyone thinks that this part is not after use. So this part is of very useful kind, because after an infection in the body, it helps in the regeneration of good bacteria as fast as it can. So this was just a brief process of how it goes through. If you have any doubt, you can tell it in the comment section, and I will explain that part more effectively. Still, I tried to clear out what is this. So now I'll tell the properties. If you want to take this, you can pause the video and take this down. If you want to draw the diagram, we are going through with the human digestive system. So now I'll explain the terms that I have said. Firstly, I have said peristalsis, that was the wave-like movement. So the definition for it is that it is a series. So sorry for the inconvenience. So peristalsis is a series of wave-like muscular contractions that move food into the digestive tract. The peristalsis is a series of wave-like muscular contractions that happens in the oesophagus that moves food into the digestive tract. Now I said bile juice. So bile juice is an alkaline medium that activates the pancreatic enzymes that helps in the digestion of food. It also helps in the emulsification or breakdown of fats. And pancreatic juice, they digest out the remaining things that are left. They consist of some parts, namely trypsin, which digests remaining proteins, amylase that digests remaining carbohydrates, and lipase that digests remaining fats. Now coming to some topics of small intestine. The length of small intestine. The length of small intestine is 22 feet or 7 meters. The area of small intestine is 250 square meters. In small intestine there are villi, the finger-like projections that help in increasing surface area of small intestine, which aids in efficient absorption of nutrients. They are the finger-like projections that aid in the efficient absorption of nutrients. Now coming to the villi topic, the villi absorb the essential food particles or molecules, and the remaining particles are moved further for excretion. Water molecules are absorbed by the walls of the colon and the rectum. As I said, the ascending colon, the middle colon, and the descending colon. So they are, the water molecules are absorbed by them. This was a brief introduction for the human digestive system. If you have any doubt, you can tell it in the comment section and I will clear your doubt. Now let me write some facts for you. 3 of the facts I have that I want all of you to know. So these are the facts which are related to the digestive system that I wanted to share with you. Their vitamin D8 is synthesized in the skin when it is exposed to UV8 rays from sunlight. The first one is this. These are the facts which no one think are facts and even happen in the body, as they are very mild functions. They don't come to the limelight as no one takes a great look at them. The second one is temperature can affect appetite. Like a cold person is likely to eat more food, and a person with high temperature is likely to eat less food. You can see that in summers you don't like to eat much. That is the reason. The third is pumpkin seeds are high in zinc, which is good for prostate and building immune system. As you see, everyone is saying to build immune system so that you can cope up with the viruses that are in the surroundings. So pumpkin seeds are good in zinc, which will help you build your immune system. So this was the video of human digestive system. Hope you liked it and stay connected with us for more study updates. Thank you.